Thank you all so much for being here. This is so cool because this is the first time we've been in person since 2019, and it is such a treat to have you all here for this wonderful, just quick hour of heart and soul and giving. So take your seats, if you will, as we want to kind of wind down here and get rolling on this day. My name is Susan Elizabeth Littlefield. I work for WCCO for news. And I know that might be a little triggering for some people because I hear a lot, I don't watch the news because it's depressing. Depressing. Yep, you said it right there. But the good news is that there is a lot of good news in this world, in this community. In fact, I've been able to be part of a show we started this year on Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. And it's about positivity and empowerment and just showing that there are so many good people out there. And every single one of you who is here, who has a drink in your hand, who is sitting in a seat, you are a giver, and we celebrate you for being here to honor the Children's Law Center. So good to have you all back. And the reason we're here is because of kids who are in the foster system. We say something in TV, we call it a tease. It's kind of like, here's what's coming up, because I want to tell y'all, go ahead, I'm kind of getting off program here, and tell you the heart of this night. It's a young man who's sitting there in a white shirt. His name's Dustin. He is the reason we are here. Dustin spent time in the foster care system, and he is here. He is being so brave and so vulnerable. He's going to tell you his story of how this organization and the attorney who represented him changed his life. Now, there might be some of you here who don't know much about the CLC. Basically, it's an amazing organization that gives a legal voice to kids who are 10 or older in the foster system. This doesn't happen in a lot of states. A lot of states, you know, the parents might have an attorneys, there's a state. Here, the kids are advocated for. It's such a high level. It's because of this night. It's because of this organization. It's because of all of you who are here right now. I am so honored to be here and to tell you that our goal is to raise $40,000 tonight for these kids to have representation. These kids who don't always get a voice. They don't always get seen, but we have a chance to elevate their lives. And when you hear Dustin's story, you're just going to understand it's so great. I want to give you a quick quote before I introduce you to the board chair here. This is from Booker T. Washington. And this makes me think of every single one of you who is in this room. Those who are happiest are those who do the most for others. Whether it's just this one night, this ticket, a couple of glasses of wine, or something you bid for tonight, you are givers. We honor each and every one of you. I'm going to turn it over to the board chair, Tony, who's going to join us on stage.
Thank you Thank you very much, Susan Elizabeth. It is such a pleasure to be here. I want you all to join me in a round of applause for Susan Elizabeth. She has done this several years for us. She does such a nice job. Thank you so much. As she said, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Tony Zulli. I'm the current board chair for CLC. I'm an attorney at Merchant & Gould, and I couldn't be prouder to be here with all of you tonight. And how good is it to be back in person? We don't have the most beautiful weather, but we have a beautiful setting. We have great people. And of course, as Minnesotans, we came out, even though it's only like 45 degrees out tonight, you are all here to support this great organization and this great cause. So thank you so much for being here. I've been on the board now for 5 years, and as I said, a chair for this year. And I did not come to CLC through volunteership. I didn't come up through being a volunteer attorney. I joined the board. I was asked to join the board and actually didn't really know all that much about Children's Law Center. Wow, it has been a wonderful 5 years. I have learned so much, and the work that the CLC staff and the CLC volunteers do is just amazing. Please help me thank the CLC staff and all of you volunteers that are here tonight. Thank you so much. I came from a background where I personally saw in court children's lives being affected by decisions made by parents, made by adults, made by others, with the children having no voice. You give those children a voice. It is so important. I want you to help me thank one other group. Those are our key sponsors. We wouldn't be here tonight without them. Please help me thank 3M, the Association of Corporate Counsel for the Minnesota chapter, Dorsey and Whitney, Frederickson and Byron, Jones Day, Robbins Kaplan, and United Health Group. Thank you so much, all of you. I'm going to turn it back over to Susan Elizabeth. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker here is the Executive Director, Lilia Pantaliva. She has a beautiful Eastern European accent you're about to hear right here. If you've met her, you know her. She just aims for the heart, and she does such wonderful advocate work for this organization. She has been here for 10 benefits. This is her 10th with the CLC. She heads up the organization. Under her leadership, this organization has grown to a full staff of 12 to meet the needs of children and youth who are in foster care. Again, it goes back to you, Dustin. It's all about these kids. That's why we're here. Lilia will be speaking about the successes, the challenges. We've all had our own personal challenges over the past few years, and she's going to kind of talk about how that's affected the organization and how we hope to go forward. Lilia.
Well, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us today. This is on, right? Okay, good. Thank you for braving this weather and for seeing us here in person. I am just very grateful to all of our sponsors, to all of our donors, volunteers, and of course, tremendously grateful to our staff. They're telling me they can't hear me from the back, so thank you for looking out for me. But hey, you guys back there and those who are doing the registration and those who are still in the room and all of our volunteers, thank you for the bottom of my heart. We couldn't do this work without the wonderful team at CLC. I also want to do a shout out to Amanda and Becky, who made this event a success. This was months of planning, a lot of detail, a lot of work. There's one of them right there, kind of sitting in the background, but that's who gets the credit for all of this planning. And Becky, you probably met in the back, who's doing the registrations, who coordinated all of the volunteers and your name tags and all of the wonderful and amazing work that goes into planning this event. Yeah, so a lot has happened in the last year. We represented over 700 children. That's a lot. That is full legal representation, that is holistic approach, that is removing all of the obstacles and all of the challenges for our kids, for them to be successful adults and to transition into lives that puts their past behind. Of the children of the cases rather that we closed this year, 34 of them were successfully reunited with their families. That's a good outcome. 86 of them were adopted by a family. That's a huge number. Those are successes. Our adoptions are now happening in person. Their families are there, their new families, and it is one of the best successes we can celebrate in the courtroom is when a child who comes into foster care finds their new, awesome, permanent family. Some of the other things I'm actually proud to mention to you is CLC signed on to the United States Supreme Court amicus brief this year in support of the Indian Child Welfare Act, which, if overturned, would fail to safeguard children's rights and protect them from unwarranted removal from their families and tribes. CLC also signed on to an advocacy letter to fix a policy quirk that has created a visa backlog for youth eligible for special immigrant juvenile status, stemming from the classification of SIJS visa as employment-related versus humanitarian. We celebrated our volunteer attorneys at the Indeed Brewing Company this summer. For those of you who are there, thank you. We had a blast. Hopefully this is an annual thing, and hopefully I'll see you there next year. We honored, thank you. We honored 2 of our volunteer attorneys who have been with the CLC the longest, and not just the longest, but represented more children than any other volunteer attorneys because of the duration, obviously, of being with us. That was Chad Snyder and Wendy Watson. Congratulations to them again. We cannot do this work without our volunteer attorneys. So I'm very grateful to every volunteer attorney who takes the time and their expertise and invests in our future generation children who need us most. Also, thanks to our board member, Cara Gray, right there. Mega Pickle and Pong in Chanhassen held a fundraising event for CLC at their first annual charity invitational with CLC as its first beneficiary. That was also a great success. Thank you for that, by the way. So life is busy at CLC. Tonight is our opportunity to celebrate our successes and the successes of our clients. One of the things that all of our clients have in common is that they have been robbed of a happy childhood. And that happy childhood has been replaced with scars, bad memories, and a lot of trauma. All of that is a lifelong lasting effect on them. It sticks with them forever. But their resilience and desire to overcome their past is what fuels our work. And we just couldn't be more honored and proud to do this. Just recently, I represented a group of siblings who came from an absolutely horrible background. They were adopted from a different country by a family here in the United States. They were extremely abused by their adoptive family, and their future didn't look very bright. And I am here to tell you that I watched them graduate from high school, both of them. One of them today is in the US Army, and the other one is attending police academy. Their resilience is really what keeps us going. And of course, not to take this lightly, but we do make huge difference, whether it's small successes, big successes. We are that team that sees the future and removes those obstacles and positions the youth that we represent for a more successful future. Because we believe that the smallest voice in the courtroom should be the loudest. Our goal tonight is to raise $40,000 to help fund the important work happening each day at CLC. And I would like to also thank our CLC board, who have continued to elevate our work and advocate for anything we ask for and give generously in time, treasure, and talent. And CLC board members may be the reason you're all here. So thanks for doing the invitations on behalf of CLC. So we're here making the difference in our community. Your donation dollars today will help us fund one other year of work and hopefully reach more children that need us. So please enjoy this wonderful evening of fundraising, connecting. Make sure to keep your hand free for bidding because that's coming up. I just want to make sure that, we hope that we will get 100% participation. So please participate at any level. And I want to make sure that you all have your bid numbers. They should match the number on your name tag. Please confirm that and please raise your numbers. I just want to see that everybody has one. Raise them high, raise them, please, horizontally, not vertically, not upside down. will make Susan Elizabeth's and Stacy's life easier.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody has that. It matches with everybody. Thank you very much. And now it is my pleasure to pass the microphone back to Susan Elizabeth Littlefield for our wonderful, amazing live auction. Have fun.
Thank you, Lilia, so much for setting the tone for tonight. And we know y'all are busy people. This program is going to keep on moving. And we're going to kick it off right now with an auction. There's only a few items here, but these are big things. Talking about a large collection of wine. I don't know if you can see that table over there. Over 60 bottles. That's one of the things that's going. Then get ready for this. A 5-night getaway to Whitefish, Montana. Glacier, all those photos. Maybe you've seen it on Instagram or seen it on person. We've got that going. To kick the night off, Stacy McKernan is joining me from Flabido, and I've gotten to work with Stacy before, and you got to hear her story really quickly. She is an auctioneer. She grew up in Iowa. Her dad would auction off livestock. And so she kind of picked up the trade. So that is her background, and that is the context for how she is going to guide the night tonight. Let's hear it for Stacy. Let's get going. We're going to keep this short and sweet.
Thank you, Susan Elizabeth, for that lovely introduction. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Stacy McKernan, and I'm with Flabido Advancement, and I'm so honored to be serving as your auctioneer this evening. So, folks, is everyone having a fantastic time? Well, that was pretty good, but you have not been here together for 2 years. So I said, folks, is everyone having a fantastic time? Much better. Well, I am so excited to be here myself, and we are going to have a great time tonight. And I want to start off by thanking Children's Law Center for inviting me to this wonderful night of celebration. It's inspiring to see the impact that CLC has made to protect and support the well-being of children and youth. So, folks, of course, we're gathered here to celebrate, but we're also here to join together to continue to make a difference. So we thank each and every one of you for being here. All right, folks, so moving on to our exciting live auction. We do have 7 fantastic items to auction off here tonight. So again, just want to make sure you know what you need to do tonight. At this time, I want you to grab your bid numbers from your table. Again, they're on the back of the program. And these are your permission to play tonight, okay? So I just ask that if you choose to bid on an item, you raise your bid number high so that I can see you. So let's grab them now. Again, this is going to be a free practice round for all of you, okay? We're going to make sure you know what to do with them here tonight. So put them up in the air for me right now. Maybe move them up and down, maybe side to side, maybe shake it like a Polaroid picture, right? All right, well, you are all warmed up and ready to go. So let's have some fun here tonight, and feel free to spend foolishly, as it is all going towards a great cause. So I'll now pass the mic off to Susan Elizabeth, who will give us the description for our first live auction item. So take it away, Susan Elizabeth.
Stacey, I don't know many of you personally in this room, but I'm noticing a theme that there's some wine drinkers in here. And if you're like me and COVID kind of diminished the collection, tonight is the night to change that. We've got that 60 plus bottles. We're talking $60 bottles here. And what comes with this package is you actually get a wine tasting for 20 people at Total Wine. So you kind of get a party with it. Stacey?
Absolutely, Susan Elizabeth. This is such a great item to start our live auction with. And this item is perfect to stock the wine cabinet to get ready for the holidays. So Lilia, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have 65 bottles, right? 65 bottles of wine and bubbly. They're all unique with no repeats. So this also included, as Susan Elizabeth mentioned, is the tasting for 20 as well to Total Wine. So let's start our auction off strong with this first item. Folks, save water, drink wine. Here we go. We're going to start it low and let it go. Somebody give me $500 to start. 500 where? I have 500 here. What do you go? 750. 750 they're in. Now 1,000. We have 1,000 bid now. 1,250. 1,250. What do you go? 1,250. 1,250. What do you go? 1,250. We're at $1,000. What do you go? 1,250. 1,250. Well, undervalue, folks, at 1,250. What do you go? 1,250. Thank you. 1,250. And now 1,500. 1,500. What do you go? 15. 1,500. I have 1,250 bid. What do you go? 1,500. 1,500. What do you go? 15. 1,500. Folks, the value is well over 1,500. What do you go? 15. Thank you. 15 here. And now 1,750. 1,750. What do you go? 1,750. 1,750. What do you give? 1,750. Folks, don't worry about how much you're spending here tonight. We have people keeping track of that for you, okay? What do you go? 1,750. I have the bid here at 1,500. What do you go? 1,750. Give me 1,600. 16. What do you go? 16. 1,600. What do you give? 16. 1,600. Folks, the value is over $1,700. Give me $1,600. 16. Whatever. Give me 16. Thank you. New fire. Thank you. What took you so long? Thank you so much. At 1,600. The bid is at 16. What do you go? One more time at 17. $1,700. What do you give? 17. $1,700. It's heart healthy, right? What do you go? 17. The bid is at 16. What do you go? 17. 1,700. 1,700. Would you go one more time at $1,700? Would you like some encouragement from the crowd? I've got the bid here at 1,600. What do you go? One more time at 1,700. Final call, folks, asking at $1,700. And I sold it your way. Congratulations for $1,600. Could I get the winning bid number, please? The winning bid number is 292. That's 292. Let's give her another big round of applause for starting us off here tonight.
Thank you so much. Party at your house.
She's our new best friend.
I know. We found her. She's right here. Okay, this is neat next because a lot of us, I would probably just guess, raise your hand if you've been to Stillwater. Like all of you, right? But have you really just gone there kind of as a vacation? That's something we're offering tonight. It's a weekend getaway. You need some rest, relaxation. You don't want to get on a plane. You don't even want to drive up north or south. This is it. Okay, we're going to tell you what this entails. 2 nights at the beautiful Water Street Inn with a $600 gift certificate that comes with it, $200 at a nearby Feller restaurant, and an additional $200 of a gift certificate to the Dot Cafe, the wine bar, the Greenbridge coffee shop. I mean, everything is covered. Lovely getaway. Stillwater, this is sponsored by the Association of Corporate Counsel Minnesota chapter. We appreciate you doing this. And again, Stillwater, see it in a whole different way.
Thank you, Susan Elizabeth. Folks, this is a fantastic offering of a Stillwater getaway. This takes all the work out of planning a local getaway. So let's raise some more money here tonight for CLC and those that they support. So here we go. We're going to sell it now. Who's ready to start this one off? At $400, 400, we're at 400 here now, 5 is bid, now 6, and now 700, we have 700 in the back of the room, now 8, we have $800 here, 800, now 9, do I have 900, 900 here, I have 900 to the lady, but sir, I will take $1,000, he's in, yes, thank you, $1,000, 1,000 is bid, folks, this is where you applaud, we're already at $1,000. I have 1,000 here. Would you go 1,100? 1,100. Would you give 11? 1,100. I have 11. And now 12. Would you go 1,200? 1,200. I'll take 12. 1,200. I have 1,100. Babe, would you go 12? 1,200. Would you give 12? 1,200. Thank you. And now 13. 1,300. Would you go 13? 1,300. Would you give 13? 13. The bid is at 12. Would you go 13? Would you give 13? 1,300. Folks, I'll stop you when you get too high. Would you go 1,300? I have the bid at 1,200. Would you go 13? 1,300. Would you give 13? 1,300. Are we all in and all done, folks? Last call asking at $1,300. And I sold it to you. Congratulations for $1,200. Could I get your winning bid number, please? The bid number is 284. That's 284. Thank you and enjoy your Stillwater getaway.
Yeah, I think that'll be so much fun. Okay, we're going to move on real quick. People in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities, I mean, I think personally, I had friends visit from Atlanta recently. We have like the best low-key food scene in the country. I mean, it's amazing. People are blown away when they come here and eat at some of our restaurants. One of the hot ones you might have been hearing people talk about lately is a supper club, Mr. Paul's Supper Club, located in Edina. His restaurant is a present day supper club. It opens with a focus on food, fun, polished service. Chef Tommy's grandfather, Mr. Paul, was known for his freedom and artistic expression, warmth. I mean, there's a whole vibe when you go to this place, right? Some of you may have been. I don't know. Anybody in the room been to the supper club yet? Okay, yeah, so a few people. Here's the bottom line here. The lucky winner of this item and 5 friends are going to be special guests to Tommy. So I don't know if you guys can hear me. There's a little muttering. So I want to make sure you hear. This is the tagline here. 5 friends and you will be special guests of Tommy. You'll be able to sample 7 courses of the chef's tasting menu. There will be pairings with it, obvs. Tommy's team will dazzle with the open kitchen. They'll help you pair your food with wine, cocktails. This is a big night for friends. For 6 of you, you can go all in at Mr. Paul's Supper Club.
This is a great one, Susan Elizabeth. I love this item. Again, it's the 7-course dinner for 6 plus the drink pairings at the very popular Mr. Paul's Supper Club. So who will be our lucky winner here tonight? All right, folks, who's ready to give me $400 to start? 400 here. Now 500, 600, 600 is bid. And now 700, what do you give? 700 is bid. Now $800, where do you go? 800, I have 700 bid. What do you go? 800. And now 900, where do you go? 900, I have 800 bid. What do you go? 900. $900. Thank you, 900. Now $1,000. 1,000. They're in at 1,000. And now 1,100, where do you go? 11. 1,100. Now 12. What do you get? 1,200. 1,200. I have 1,100 bid. What do you go? 12. 1,200 now. What do you get? What do you get? 1,200. $1,200. I have 1,100 bid. What do you go? 12. 1,200. What do you go? 1,200. $1,200. You can buy the new car next year, right? What do you go? $1,200. 1,200. I'm 1,100. 1,200. Thank you so much. That's 1,200. And now 13. 1,300. What do you go? 13. 1,300. It's like checkers. It's your move. What do you go? 1,300. I have 1,200 bid. What do you go? 13. 1,300. What do you get? 13. The bid is at 12. We go 13. Thank you. And now 14. 1,400. Auction on. They're at the same table. This makes it easy for me. What do you go? 14. $1,400. The bid is at 13. What do you go? 14. 1,400. Yes, take another sip of your drink and this next bid won't stink so bad. What do you go? 1,400. One more time at 1,400. The bid is at 13. What do you go? 14. 1,400. What do you go? 14. 1,400. 1,400. The bid is at 13. One more time at 1,400. Final call asking at $1,400. And yes, he's second. 1,400. He changed his mind. That drinks, it worked. All right. I've got you in at 1,400. Thank you so much. And now back to you at 15. 1,500. Where do you go? 15. 1,500. She's going to take a sip of her wine too. We're warming them up, folks. Here we go. What do you go? 1,500. One more time at 15. I've got you in at 14. 15. 1,500. Now back to you at 1,600. 1,600. What do you go? 16. 1,600. What do you give? 1,600. 16. The bid is at 15. What do you go? 16. 1,600. Sir, you told me no last time. I don't believe you. What do you go? 1,600. The bid is at 15. What do you go? 1,600. Folks, do we think he should bid just one more time? Yes! He's in at 1,600. Thank you. See how well that works? Yes. 1,600 is the current bid. Now back to you at 17. 1,700. What do you go? 17. We'll give you encouragement too if you'd like it. What do you go? 1,700. The bid is at 16. What do you go? 17. 17. 1,700. You know that no motion is not good for your neck, right? When you go 1,700, the bid is at 16. When you go 17. 17. Final call, folks, asking at 1,700. And sir, it's yours. Congratulations for $1,600. The winning bid number is 231. 231. Congratulations to you. And thank you for getting him there. Thank you.
You got some lucky friends.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good dinner. Okay, this is big. I'm so excited about this one. Y'all, you know how I was talking about Glacier and going out west? This is it. This is the big trip of the night. Okay, 5-night stay, beautiful ski town, Whitefish, Montana. The community right off Whitefish area, the lake. It's a mountain resort. Okay, this is 15 minutes from Whitefish Mountain Resort, and then it's 25 minutes from Glacier National Park. Okay, soak it in. There's views of the lake. This is a 2-bedroom condo. You can warm up by the fireplace, relax in the hot tub, ski all day, bring friends, get away, mix up the landscape. This is good from October, so you can go like next week, all the way through the middle of May. Stacy?
Thank you, Susan Elizabeth. This is a special one here tonight. Folks, this would be the trip of a lifetime, as Whitefish Montana is one of the most popular destinations out there. So again, it's a 5-night stay in this lovely condo. Again, it sleeps up to 8 people. So this would be a guilt-free vacation for you, knowing that you are helping others at the same time. So who is going to Whitefish? All right, someone start me at $750. $750 here. Thank you. And now $1,000. Where do you go? $1,000. $1,000. I have $750. But where do you go? $1,000. $1,000 here. Thank you. And now $1,250. $1,250 there. And now $1,500. $1,500. I have $1,500 in the back. Now $1,750. Are you in at $1,750? $1,750. Yes. $1,750 here. Now $2,000. $2,000. Where do you go to? $2,000. Where do you go? $2,000. The bid is at $1,750. Where do you go? $2,000. $2,000. What do you give? $2,000. Folks, it's for 5 nights. What do you go? $2,000. $2,000. What do you give? $2,000. $2,000. This is priceless. $2,000. What do you go? $2,000 for the trip of a lifetime. At $2,000, the bid is at $1,500. Where do you go? Sorry, $1,750. Where do you go? $2,000. $2,000. Somebody give me $1,900. 19. Where do you go? 19. $1,900. What do you give? $1,900. 1,900. What do you give? 19. This would be a heck of a deal at $1,900. 19. Anyone at 19? 1,900. Folks, don't let money stand between you and happiness, right? When you go $1,900, thank you, 19 here. 19 is bid. Now, when you go $2,000, you can already see yourself sitting by the mountains, right? When you go $2,000, the bid is at 19. When you go $2,000, $2,000, when you go $2,000, $2,000.
And Stacy, I don't think I mentioned there's a hot tub. So you're sitting in this huge condo, mountains, lakes, skiing in your hot tub.
That is worth an extra $100
so.
for certain. Yes. So I've got the bid here at $1,900. Would you go one more time at $2,000? 2,000, yes or yes at $2,000. Would you go one more time at 2,000? 2,000. Final call asking at $2,000. And congratulations, you're going to Montana for $1,900. Thank you so much. Number 341. That's 341. Thank you so much and enjoy your time there.
Thank you. That's going to be an incredible trip. We appreciate you. Okay, this next item is a networking opportunity. It looks like there's a lot of people in here who are good at networking and looking for growth. This is a chance. Okay, this is a unique opportunity for you and 2 colleagues to have lunch with Jim Chosey. Jim is the Executive Vice President and General Counsel at US Bank. He is hard to get to, in case you haven't figured that out. Jim is very busy, but he graciously offered to make an opening on his calendar for the highest bidder. All proceeds go to CLC. And I'm going to remind you again of my friend Dustin right here and why we're here tonight. Let's go.
Absolutely. And folks, this is such a unique opportunity for you and your 2 colleagues to enjoy a private lunch with Jim again. Folks, this will not be here tomorrow, so you'll want to bid on it now. Here we go. Let's start this off at 5, 4, $300. 300. Where do I have 300? Bid by 300. What do you give? 300. Give me $100. $100 where? 100. What do you go? 100 here and now. 2. What do you give? 2. 200. What do you give? 200 now. Bid by 200. What do you give? $200. 200. I have $100 bid. What do you go? 200. 200. Give me 1.5. 150. What do you go? 150 now. Bid by 150. Thank you. And now 200. 200. What do you go? 200 now. What do you give? 200. I have 1.5 bid. What do you go? 200. $200. What do you have? 200. Your only regret will be to lose it. Will you go? $200. 200. The bid is at 1.5. Where do you go? 200. 200 now. Where do you go? $200. 200 now. Don't all jump in at the same time. At $200. Where do you go? 200. The bid is at 150. One more time at 200. $200. Thank you. 200. New fire at $200 now, 2.5. These in at 2.5. And now 300. $300. Would you go another time at 300? 300. Would you go 3? The bid is at 2.5. Would you go 300? $300. Grab that number. Would you go 300? $300. $300. 2.5 is the bid. We go 300 now. Bid by 300. Final call, folks. Asking at $300. Yes, he's back in. 300. Sir, we could be here all night. Thank you so much at $300. Back to you at 3.5. Would you go 350? Yes, 350 now. 400. $400. Would you get 4? $400. You're wearing him out. Would you go 400? $400. They're having a conference over there at that table. Would you go 400? 400. One more time at 400. The bid is at 350. Would you go 400? Final call asking at $400. And it's yours. Congratulations for 350. Bid number 411. 411. Congratulations.
Okay, Stacy, 2 more quick items. I know I see the wine drinkers, any bourbon connoisseurs out there. Okay, I'm hearing a little low key. I'm hearing some cheers. I'm assuming that's a yes. Okay, so there is a board member here, Joe. He selected some of his favorites. Now, these are not bottles that you can purchase at most retailers. If you do know bourbon, I'm going to name drop for a second. Hopefully this piques your interest here. The box includes Henry McKenna, 10-year bottled and bond, Larceny barrel proof A122, Elijah Craig, 12-year barrel proof A122, and Buffalo Trace. So that's your collection, Stacy. Cheers.
Cheers to you. Yes. And folks, again, this is an incredibly unique offering. This was a surprise last minute item that we added to our live auction of these premium bottles of whiskey. They're super hard to find. You could buy it for yourself or maybe buy it for the bourbon lover in your life. But either way, know that you'll be supporting the important work of Children's Law Center. So folks, bourbon is liquid sunshine. So someone start me at $300. 300 where at 300 here now. 4 is bid now 5. I have 500 here now. 600. Would you go 6? And now 700. 700. Thank you. And now $800. Would you go 8? 800. Would you give 800? $800. I have 700. Babe. Would you go 800 now? Bid by 800. $800. Would you give 800? The bid is at 700. Would you go 8? $800. Would you go 800? $800. Would you give 800? The bid is at 700. Would you go 800? 800. Folks, this bourbon is harder to find than Bigfoot, right? Would you go $800? I've got you in at 700. Would you go 800? 800. Would you give me 7.5? 750. Anybody get 750? 750. The bid is at 700. We get 7.5. 7.5. Are we all in and all done? Last call at $750. And the bourbon is yours. Congratulations for $700. Could I get your winning bid number, please?
Congratulations.
It is you. Yes, congratulations. 364. 364. Let's give her another big round of applause.
Cheers
Thank
to
you.
Cheers to you. Okay, this is our last item of the night, and this is probably the most personal. We heard from Lilia a little while ago. She is going to host a Eastern European dinner. You can enjoy dinner with 5 guests at Lilia's home, which includes wine, a 3-course authentic Eastern European dinner. Lilia was born and raised in Eastern Europe in the country of Moldova. She immigrated to the US in 1995, and we can see all the good she's done for our country in that time. Her mother, Pasha, who visits Minnesota every year, is going to be joining Lilia in hosting. I mean, this is like a mama cooked meal. I mean, this is a big deal here. Anytime between November 14th and March 10th, Pasha loves spending her time in the kitchen during her stay here. Lily is practically banned from the kitchen. This is all about Pasha. She's only allowed to bring in groceries and do the dishes. You are guaranteed to ask for seconds. This is powerful in a few ways. I think this is honoring to Lilia for the work she does. And I think all of us have had our hearts with the people of Eastern Europe lately. And this seems symbolic. Stacy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Susan Elizabeth. And folks, again, this is our last and final live auction package. But before I sell this item, let's give a big round of applause to Susan Elizabeth for being our wonderful MC here this evening. Thank you. And again, this is our last auction item, and it is a fun one. So as you've heard, all the details will be taken care of for you and your 5 guests to enjoy this multi-course meal. provided by our very own executive director, Lilia. So thank you again, Lilia, and maybe even your mom too, right? So this would be a dining experience to remember. So let's see how high we can go here tonight and finish strong to support Children's Law Center. So this item is truly priceless. Who's ready to give me $400 to start? 400 where? At 400 here. Thank you. And now 500. Where do you go? 5. 500 is bid. And now 600. Thank you. At 600. Now $700. Where do you go? 7. $700. Where do you give? 7. 700. Yes, 700 here. And now at 800. Where do you go? 8. 800. It moves quickly, right? Where do you go? $800. 800. Yes, they're in at 800. But I'll take 9. Where do you go? 900. Thank you. At 900. And now $1,000. 1,000. Are you in at 1,000? We have 1,000 bid. And now 1,100. Where do you go? 11. 1,100. Yes. 1,100 here, and now 12. $1,200. Where do you go? 12. 1,200. I have 1,200, but I'll take 13. 1,300. Where do you go? 13. 1,300. I have 1,200 bid. 13. Thank you. 1,300. Now 14. 14. They're in. Now 15. 1,500. Where do you get? 15. The bid is at 14. Where do you go? 15. $1,500. Where do you go? 15. And now 16. 1,600. She's in. Now 17. 1,700. Where do you go? 17. 1,700. What do you go? $1,700. 1,700. 1,700. What do you give? $1,700. Now 17. The bid is at 16. What do you go? 17. 1,700. Do I have a bidder over here? 1,700. Thank you. All the way in the back of the room. Thank you. At $1,700. 1,700. And now 18. $1,800. You've run a good race, but you're currently in second place. Would you go? $1,800. Bid is at 17. Would you go one more time at 1,800? Yes, she said yes. 18. And now 19. He's in at 19. And now 2,000. Yes, 2,000. And 2,100. 2,100. Auction on. Here we go. 2,100 here. Now 22. 2,200. What do you go? 2,200. 2,200. There's no ears to ears, just nose to toes, right? What do you go? 2,200. The bid is at 2,100. What do you go? 22. 2,200. The bid is at 21. Anyone else? At 2,200. 22. New fire. Thank you. We have a new bidder at $2,200. Thank you so much. At 2,200. Folks, this one is what an auction is all about. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Number 2,300. What do you go? 23. $2,300. What do you go? 23. And now 24. 2,400. What do you go? 24. 24 and 25. 2,500, sir. What do you go? 2,500. 25. He's in. Now 26. 2,600. What do you go? 2,600. Wasn't that fun? What do you go? $2,600. The bid is at 25. What do you go? 26. 2,600. It's so expensive now. It doesn't matter, right? What do you go? $2,600. The bid is at 25. What do you go? 26. 2,600. Well, I have so much good news to share with you here tonight. I've got the current bid right here at $2,500. But Lillian, would you be so open to possibly doing 2 of these dinners so that both of these bidders
Of course.
could do a dinner? Yes. Would you take the second package, sir? Also at $2,500. He said yes. Congratulations. I sold it your way for $2,500. I sold it to you as well for $2,500. Could I get the winning bid number, please? Bid number 300. Let's give him a big round of applause. And bid number 209. Thank you so much. Congratulations to you. Thank you, Lilia. Let's give her a big round of applause. Folks, that does conclude our live auction here tonight. Thank you so much to you all for your participation. So Lilia, back to you.
So much. I'm humbled, but I will make sure it's fun. And I promise you, my mom is an amazing cook, and it's true. When she visits, I am practically banned from the kitchen, and I can only bring groceries or do the dishes. That's all. She takes over. Well, I actually want to take one quick second and thank our AV team that is helping us with mics and audio and video and slides. Travis and team from Robbins Kaplan have helped us for many, many years doing this pro bono at every single event, and you guys rock. every year without fail, they come over and they help us. And I think I owe you a drink, maybe. That's kind of a tradition right now, but thank you so much. And again, thank you for such an active and amazing and generous participation in live auction items, plural. Every dollar goes to Children's Law Center, and every dollar finds the legal representation of every child that deserves to have that legal representation. So it is my honor now to introduce Jim Proman, who is one of our long-standing volunteer attorneys who unfortunately could not be here with us today. But Jim will actually be introducing our keynote speaker, Dustin, who is a graduate of St. Cloud State University. Jim has been Dustin's attorney for many years. He is just one of those volunteers that without fail, very consistently goes the extra mile for every client he has represented. He has a hard time saying no to Children's Law Center, which is what we love. And of course, he does an amazing job advocating for his clients and truly paving the road to success for children that otherwise don't have that vision, don't have that opportunity or possibility. We are just forever grateful to Jim, who is, by the way, a very humble person. He would never take credit for anything that's going to be mentioned today, but he's an amazing, truly incredible volunteer attorney. So Jim is going to introduce Dustin, and Dustin, I am just so grateful for your bravery to be here today. I can't wait to hear you speak. Thank you for being here for us today.
I'm Jim Proman, and I've been a volunteer attorney here with Children's Law Center for about 16, 17 years now. Over the years, I had been a transactional attorney, doing pretty much general corporate work, and just the idea of getting into the juvenile courts and child protection system was of interest to me. I thought maybe I could do some good. But I had no clue what goes on in the child protection system. When I got my first case, I was able to see how the system worked. You've got some reason that a child or perhaps children are taken out of the family. It's a very traumatic experience. And you have these players in the system who are there to decide what happens in this child's life. And often the child doesn't understand what's going on, and they don't know who to trust and who to believe and what's right. And that's the role we play. We're able to sit down and explain it all, understand what is going on, and have the child decide if what is being recommended for them is appropriate or not. And then we can be the voice of that child. When I first met Dustin, he was 10 years old. And he was a young man who was mature beyond his years. It was reported by the school that Dustin and his younger brother were not showing up at school. And so the county went in and investigated and found that there were issues within the home. And he and his younger brother were living in an emergency shelter for a period of time and confused over the situation. But once we sat down and talked about it, he understood it quite well. That put him at ease. He knew that the situation that they were living in was not a good situation, and they were looking to have something better. I get a lot more out of it than I put into it, and nothing makes me happier than to see a case end with a child in a far better situation than they were in when it started. Dustin's a very smart young man and was very focused. He knew he wanted to graduate high school, go to college, and be successful in whatever he does, and to date he has done that. I was fortunate to be at his high school graduation. He's now graduated college. He's living independently, has a very stable home life with his girlfriend and his dog, who's very important to him. Now in his first job out of college, doing very well. I'm grateful that I've retained a connection with him because I'm no longer his lawyer. So you've heard a lot about Dustin already, and now it's time to meet the keynote speaker, my former client and good friend, Dustin Schmieg.
Thank you. My name is Dustin Schmieg. I'm in my 4th month now working in business development right out of college at a great company called Kaleidoscope. I'm really proud of what I've been able to accomplish so far. And though it may not be the grandest existence, I can't imagine my life being any happier than it is today. I can't imagine my life being any happier. I have friends and family that love me. My amazing girlfriend, who I've been with for 5 years now, that has only ever supported me. My sweet little dog, Finn, who makes every day infinitely better. Good, supportive family was really scarce growing up. In fact, it wasn't really until I was placed with my cousin Candy that I had any sort of stability. And that did not happen until I was already midway through high school. I like to say that I did most of my personal development in the short time that I had Candy looking out for me. I never really had a moment to rest and really prioritize growing as a person until she took me in. Preparing for and heading off to college was a very transformational time for me. I by no means took my K-12 journey very seriously, and the hardships I endured during school made sure that it was never really a priority. Now here I am, having graduated with a bachelor's degree, majoring in marketing, minoring in management, and specializing in sales. All of that personal growth I was able to go through thanks to Candy helped prepare me to appreciate the value of an education and let me take it seriously for the first time. College was an absolute blast, and at other times a bit of a drag, nothing new there. Now out of college, I have a cozy little spot in Minneapolis with delicious food only a skip away. I do love good food. The food here is awesome. If you ever find yourself around Uptown, I highly recommend a little local stop called Tenka Ramen. You'll absolutely love it. They're amazing. If you had told me over a decade ago when I had first met Jim that I would be where I am today, I probably wouldn't have been able to comprehend it. Jim first appeared in my life due to an education neglect case against my mother. I had not been going to school, and red flags were noticed in my household that included my brother, mother, and I. My family on both sides have a history of mental illness, as well as chemical dependency, my mom included. This ended up meaning that my mother was never really well enough to do what she needed to provide a healthy household for herself, let alone us. I don't doubt for a moment that my mom loved me, but she had been battling mental illness and drug addiction since before I could remember. Never having clean clothes, enough food, proper hygiene supplies, or practices for that matter were commonplace. I don't blame my mom for how things ended up. She too had a rough life, and facing depression every day is a difficult uphill battle. It seems that depression and challenging lives have been a pitfall for much of my family. Well, over the years of the neglect, I was finally pulled into foster care system where arguably some of the worst years of my life took place. I had been placed with my father that all but abandoned me again, leaving me with my grandma for days or sometimes weeks at a time. I'd been to group homes for kids between foster homes multiple times. I've been in foster homes that made me feel like less than a person, let alone a kid. And worst of all, I had been placed with my aunt after my grandma became too ill to live alone. I thought I was in a place with people that at least cared about me, but I was thrown out with no explanation. There have been times that I struggled to remember because the only way that I could cope with those situations was to dissociate in an attempt to preserve what little sense of self I had a grasp on at the time. These times were hard, but I can't imagine where I would be today without Jim. Like I said earlier, I met Jim over a decade ago now, right before some of the hardest times in my life. Nearly every single event that I've described had Jim right behind me, supporting me. He was there for me no matter how trivial the matter was. One time that really stuck out to me and really solidified in my mind that Jim had my back regardless of circumstance was when he helped me get court approval to get my ears pierced. Understandably, when a child is in foster care, they don't have the ability to unilaterally decide to get any sort of body modification. It is pretty uncommon to get formal approval for this, but Jim went to bat for me anyways, and we ended up getting the approval from the judge. It might not be the most compelling story, but it's just one of the many things that meant a lot to me. When I was placed with my father, I was no longer Jim's client, but when I inevitably returned to the foster care system, he was right back with me. He showed so much care and devotion to helping me in any way that he could during the times that I felt the most hopeless, that I would go as far as to say that he was one of the only sources of hope for a long time. It feels strange to look back on what he has done for me. I would say I haven't thanked him nearly enough. Knowing him, he would say something along the lines of, "That's nonsense. You don't have to thank me for a thing." He does. That's the kind of selfless person he is. Children's Law Center connected me to one of the most influential people in my life. He guided me from a child and kept my head above water long enough to see me succeed and grow into a man. Jim has been there for me more than family. He is one of the most consistent faces that I can remember fondly. I feel honored that he took me under his wing and devoted so much of his time and energy to me when he never had to. These are the kinds of people that make up Children's Law Center of Minnesota. These amazing people came together to help kids like myself, and they went above and beyond to support me. I can never begin to express how grateful I am. If you wish to support a real, tangible impact in the life trajectory of foster youth like myself, supporting these amazing people in their extraordinary work is the way to go. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dustin, for having the courage to share your story with us tonight and for the wonderful reminder of why we are all here this evening. Folks, let's give Dustin another big round of applause for being here with us tonight. Thank you so much. Folks, the next few minutes is where we can make the greatest impact of the night. As Dustin mentioned earlier, Jim showed him so much care and devotion to help in any way that he could during the times that Dustin felt the most hopeless. And Dustin also shared that Jim was one of his only sources of hope for a long time. And folks, that is what we are providing here tonight. Tonight that we ask that you join together as a community to continue providing this hope. And Dustin found his way in large part because of the persistent support of his attentive attorney, Jim. And so our goal this evening, again, is to attempt to raise at least $40,000 in our Fund a Need giving moment to fund our work for the next year and represent children. But tonight, I also have a personal goal, and that is a goal of participation. We'd love to see 100% participation here tonight as you consider giving at a level that is meaningful to you. So to contribute here in the room tonight at a specific giving level, please just raise your bid number high and keep it up until I say your number. And if you aren't raising your bid number at the time, you still have a job to do, and that is to applaud and encourage all those who are raising their number. And if you're watching online, you can participate too. So for our guests watching from home, you can contribute by texting the word donate plus the amount that you wish to give to 814-926-0205. So for example, if you wish to donate $1,000, and this is for our online viewers, you would text donate 1,000 again to the number 814-926-0205. All right, well, let's get started. Folks, our first giving level is going to be $3,000. And friends, a gift of $3,000 could provide funds to represent a family of 3 siblings for a full year. So I ask if there's anyone here in the room tonight who would willing to be generously start us off and provide a contribution of $3,000 right here. Thank you so much. Number 3, 5, 6 for $3,000. Thank you so very much at $3,000. In the back of the room, yes, we have another number 3, 4, also for $3,000. Thanks to you as well at $3,000. $3,000. Folks, again, if you're giving here in the room, there's nothing more you need to do. You don't need to text your gift. That's for our online viewers. For that portion, we're tracking who is giving here in the room. So is there anyone else here tonight? Thank you. We have another gift of 3,000. Number 3, 1, 2. Thank you. Number 3, 1, 2 at $3,000. 3,000. Did I miss anyone else at $3,000? 3,000. Well, let's give a round of applause to everyone who has contributed at the $3,000 giving level. Fantastic. We are starting off strong here tonight. We're moving on now to our next giving level of $2,000. So please join me to provide a gift of $2,000. Raise your numbers now at $2,000. 2,000 where? Thank you right here. Number 2, 3, 5. Thank you. That's number 2, 3, 5 for $2,000. We have another. Thank you. Number 3, 9, 6. That's 396 also at $2,000. 2,000. Anyone else at $2,000? 2,000. Very good, folks. Great things are happening here tonight. Let's keep working together. And before I go to our next giving level, I do have some great news to share with you here tonight. So the Children's Law Center of Minnesota has been awarded a $10,000 challenge grant from the Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation. Let's give them a big round of applause for providing this challenge grant to us here tonight. And for this challenge grant, the following gifts will count towards unlocking this additional $10,000 in support. So your gift will be matched if you are a new donor to CLC. And if you're a donor who has not made a gift in 2 years or more, your gift will be matched. Or if you're increasing your donation that is higher than your typical amount that you give, your donation will be matched. So every gift is important, and we hope that you help take advantage of this incredible opportunity that we have here tonight. So here we go, folks. A gift of $1,000, which is our next giving level, provides representation for a client for 1 full year. So raise those numbers now and help us take advantage of this match right here. Thank you for starting me off. Bid number 2, 8, 8. Thank you for $1,000 right here. Number 2, 5, 3. Thank you for 1,000. Folks, look around the room. We're doing it. Here we go. Number 3, 2, 6. Thank you. And number 2, 5, 5. Thank you. Number 3, 6, 3. Thank you. Number 2, 9, 5. Thank you. Number 3, 3, 6 for $1,000. Thank you. Number 2, 9, 3. Thank you so much. Number 2, 1, 2 for $1,000. And bid number 2, 0, 3. Also for $1,000. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Folks, that was 10 gifts. We received 10 gifts at $1,000. We just raised $10,000 right there in that one giving level. Let's give a thunderous round of applause to everyone who has given so far. So let's keep working together, folks. Each gift is truly making a difference here tonight, especially with our match. So our next giving level is $500. So please grab your numbers and join me now for a gift of $500. 500 where? Right here in the front. Thank you, number 3, 2, 9. Thank you, number 2, 5, 4. Thank you, number 2, 9, 0. And 3, 7, 1. Thank you, number 2, 2, 8. Thank you, number 3, 0, 8 for $500. Thank you, number 3, 7, 3 and 3, 0, 2. Thank you, number 4, 1, 9. Thank you so much, number 4, 4, 9. Thank you. And number 2, 0, 6 for $500. Yes. Well done. Great work, folks. Each and every gift here tonight is so significant. Our next giving level is going to be $250. So join me now. Grab those numbers for a gift of $250 all the way in the back. Thank you, sir. Number 297. Thank you, number 309. Thank you, number 283. Thank you, number 321 and 385. Thank you, number 370 and 278. Thank you, number 305 and 446 for $250. Thank you, number 349 and 307 for $250. Did I miss anyone else at 250? Thank you, number 224 for $250. Great work, folks. We're on the home stretch now. Our last giving level is going to be $100, which could provide for an emergency hearing for one child. So let's finish strong. I'd love to see just a room full of numbers up at our last giving level of $100. If you feel so inspired, if you've already given, if you want to give again, we would appreciate nothing more. So who's ready to join me at a gift of $100 right here? Thank you, number 376. Thank you, number 276. Thank you, number 250 and 355. Thank you, number 221 and 281. Thank you, number 324. Thank you, number 285. Thank you, folks. If you're not sure what to do with your hands right now, please keep applauding. Here we go. Number 314 and 286. Thank you, number 282 and 344. Thank you, number 233 and 294. Thank you so much for $100. Outstanding. Well done. Fantastic, everyone. Well done. Let's give the entire crowd a huge round of applause for this wonderful giving moment. And also, please note that if I did not list a level that you'd be willing to give, perhaps it's $1 million, that would be okay. Or if you choose to give anonymously here tonight, that you can still do so by using the donate option on the site that you were using to bid on the silent auction items, or you can use the QR codes that can be found on your tables, or you can use the text to give option, which is also listed on your table, and you can use the envelopes on your tables as well, or you can go to checkout. So please know that every amount here tonight, every amount, no matter how big or how small, it does make a difference to support children. So thank you so much for your participation here tonight to support the Children's Law Centers. Thank you. Lilia, back to you.
Thank you again. I just cannot thank you enough for supporting our wonderful organization. One more thank you I need to say is to our pro bono photographer, Craig. I actually inherited Craig. He came to CLC, I don't even know when. I just know that when I joined, you were already doing this for us, but Craig does this every year. He does it pro bono. He does an amazing job taking pictures and capturing our event. So thank you again for the live auction, for bidding on them, and for pledging, and also for giving online or in any way that you can support us. And I just want to take another moment to thank our volunteer attorneys, because we cannot do this without you. We have a staff of 12, and yet we have a team of 340 volunteer attorneys helping us do this work. So, yeah. Hey, so if you are a volunteer attorney and you're in the room, could you please stand up for a second? Thank you. Just amazing. Thank you so much. Now we actually, oh, by the way, if you're not a volunteer attorney, please see me after the event and I can tell you how you can join our team of superheroes. So now we're moving on to our award ceremony. We are here also to celebrate our true heroes that are making the difference in children's life with or without being involved with Children's Law Center. So for our first award, Rosalie E. Wahl Justice for Children Award. One of our staff attorneys, Deb Kovacs, will introduce our award winner. Thank you, Deb, for doing this.
Hi, thank you so much for coming. Children's Law Center Rosalie E. Wahl Justice for Children Award is presented annually to an individual who has dedicated his or her life to fighting for justice for at-risk and underprivileged children in our communities. The late Honorable Rosalie E. Wahl earned a reputation as a voice for those living on the edges of society, the poor, the accused, and the powerless. Tonight, we honor Jody Alholinna, and I don't know where she's sitting. Where is she sitting? Oh, there she is. I wasn't planning on doing this, so I hadn't scoped out where she was. But we're honoring Jody tonight for her years of dedicated work on behalf of Minnesota's foster care children. Jody is well-versed in Minnesota child protection law. She has practiced for nearly 25 years, serving as an incredible advocate for children and in juvenile and family court proceedings. She's admitted to practice before the United States Supreme Court, the Minnesota Supreme Court, and several of Minnesota's tribal courts. Jody also has significant experience and competence in cases involving the Indian Child Welfare Act and the Minnesota Indian Family Preservation Act. She has served as a guardian ad litem representing the best interests of children in state and in tribal courts spanning the period of more than 26 years. And she's worked tirelessly to help support Minnesota's guardian ad litem ICWA division and its practice. Additionally, Jody has helped train guardians ad litem, and she frequently presents at state and national conferences and seminars. Jody is consistently and easily shares her vast experience, her insight, her expertise with others. Early in her career, she served as an adjunct professor at Hamline University School of Law, where she taught child advocacy courses. She's also served as the director of the Child Advocacy Clinic. These efforts have helped train and develop future child advocates. Presently, Jody serves, she continues to readily share her insights and knowledge with others to help any youth in need. She routinely serves on boards of directors of various community nonprofit, bar-related organizations serving homeless youth, children, and families. We know Jody as a CLC volunteer attorney, who is another volunteer attorney who can't say no, which we love. She's provided pro bono legal representation to our clients for more than 2 decades. But Jody just hasn't helped our clients. She's also provided pro bono services to parents and families of Native American children on behalf of the ICWA Law Center. We are well aware of Jody's longstanding commitment to Minnesota's at-risk youth and foster care. And tonight we are absolutely thrilled to honor you, Jody. And you, oh, there you are. You keep moving. You're over there. Jody, you've dedicated your dedication and your remarkable impact upon the welfare of children in Minnesota. We thank you so much for your work, and we're pleased to present you with a 2022 Rosalie E. Wahl Justice for Children Award. I'm going to turn it back over to Lilia, the boss.
Congratulations, Jody, and thank you for doing this, Deb. Just amazing, the community that we are part of. Well, so we have 2 more awards. The Children's Law Center annually gives one law firm or corporation an award for really going above and beyond in supporting our work and in supporting an organization that improves the lives of children in Minnesota. That award is the Distinguished Service Award. And this year it goes to Association of Corporate Counsel Minnesota chapter. You guys absolutely rock in what you've done for Children's Law Center. Thank you for the applause, Karen. So a little bit of a background. Come on up. Come on up. The Association of Corp, the association or association without the, I don't know, my grammar sometimes fails me. Has partnered with Children's Law Center, I want to say back in 2015, when one of our board members connected with ACC and thought, hey, why don't we, there's kind of a little bit of an overlap and some connection. You guys work with in-house counsel, we work with lawyers, we always need more volunteer attorneys, and they have access to a lot of attorneys. And so you guys do a lot of events. One of the beautiful things that ACC used to have, and I'm going to make some phone calls to make sure it comes back. It was the spring gala, where every year we'll have this beautiful Casino Royale gala, usually at either Radisson Mall of America, or what was the other one? What's the other hotel? JW, exactly that one. It was a beautiful Saturday night, black tie Casino Royale theme event, couples. It was just absolutely amazing. And all proceeds from that event went to Children's Law Center. And not only do we have fun and a blast doing that, but we were also able to spread awareness about Children's Law Center and connect with other volunteers that we normally didn't have access to. Well, this partnership continued for quite a few years. So since, I don't know, 7 years now, I'm going to say. And yes, the pandemic hit and we didn't have the gala anymore, but ACC just continued to support Children's Law Center in other ways. So for example, this year, not only are they sponsoring our event at a highest level, but also, as you saw, it was one of the live auction items that ACC Board of Directors put together. So whoever the Stillwater winner is, that is ACC. Some other things that ACC has done for us is, they organize and host CLE trainings, and Children's Law Center was able to come to some of those CLE trainings and do a little bit of the intro and just seeing if we can recruit more volunteer attorneys and let them know about our organization, a little bit more about pro bono work. But I am told by that table that most of the credit for what ACC has done for Children's Law Center goes to Karen, because she is the biggest advocate. She's the one that secured the sponsorship for us this year. She's the one that secured the Stillwater Award, and she's just always been the champion of supporting Children's Law Center. So we are tremendously grateful for this partnership, and I hope that it continues for many, many years to come. So congratulations. Thank you. I'm gonna. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. And last but not least, our Hero for Children Award. And I worked with Jessica for a few years now. I also inherited you because you have been working with Children's Law Center before I started. So you go, I don't even know how many years you go back with CLC, but also with the connection to independence. So the reason Jessica is getting the Hero for Children Award is because she actually is a hero for children. That table is nodding. Nobody would argue with me. So Jessica is the executive director of Connection to Independence. It's an organization that helps youth who are in foster care make all of the necessary connections, get the necessary resources as they transition into adulthood so that they can be independent adults. Jessica led the organization through a lot of changes and through the pandemic, obviously, which was changing. But one of the things that struck me that came to us by her nominator is that when the pandemic hit, Jessica took her staff into the front lines to care for the aged out youth who lost their jobs, had little resources and no familial support systems. They paid their rent. They delivered meals, essentials, and safety items to youth on lockdown. She played a significant role in forcing a moratorium on fosters aging out of the system during the pandemic and pushing for additional income for foster youth to survive the financial devastation of the shutdown. Jessica's conviction and dedication to foster youth is evidenced by her active involvement in coalition of family and foster advocates, 2 national projects with the Annie Casey Foundation, including Soul Family and the Financial Capabilities Equity Act, and several advocacy and reform initiatives at Hennepin County with the state of Minnesota's DHS and with the state of Minnesota's DHS. Jessica's moving the dial. Her fierce advocacy on behalf of fosters is what is required to change our system. Earlier this year, Jessica was awarded the prestigious Social Justice Leadership Award from United Way and 3M Open. She was asked to be a part of Hennepin County's Child Welfare Wellbeing Advocacy Advisory Board and by County Commissioner Angela Conley, and she was awarded federal contact to serve even more foster youth, again affirming her abilities and determination to make changes in this field. I know Jessica personally. Jessica was born into foster care and adopted out. She's a single mother of a Black boy who is a teenager now, I heard. And while Jessica was raised by a white family, she is actively aware of all of the challenges that a mom would face in raising a Black child in today's America. She experienced firsthand the disproportionate rate in which Black children are entering and re-entering foster care system. And when asked how in the world she's doing it all, she replied, do you know what you said? No idea. You said I'm doing it for my babies. So Jessica, I am honored to present you with the Hero for Children Award because you are the hero for children. So come on up here. And I am now handing it back to Susan Elizabeth, and thank you again for hosting this event for us. You do this for many years and you do such a wonderful job. So thank you.
So much. Thank you so much. And thank you to each of you. We're going to close it out right now. I loved that. I just felt so many people in this room felt Dustin, his story, all of these heroes who are among us tonight. So thank you all for being here and just for the tone and energy that's in the room right now. Just technical stuff real quick, pledges, make sure you check out, that's under the tinted area. And I just want to leave you with a quote. This is from Maya Angelou, and it says, I have found that among its many benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver. So I hope every one of you walk out of this room tonight feeling like your soul is liberated. Good night.